This is going to be the easiest podcast to edit. Hopefully. I would imagine it would be. That's all. Start it. Welcome to the most easy to edit podcast on the internet. Not really. At all. No, just kidding. It's called Not Really, but Kinda. I'm here all on my own tonight. Or today. I don't know why exactly. I asked people earlier, the other folks in GoBicker. I asked Maya and Chris and Kit because I just asked the chat. I don't know why I named them all individually, but I just I posted something like, hey, I'm gonna be doing this tonight. If anyone wants to join, feel free. And then nobody responded. And then I like 4 hours later, I'm like, all right. So I'm assuming because no one responded, no one's interested. And then finally, Kit said, I can't. Or I would. So I'm like, all right, well, at least someone at least saw it. That's good. But in a way, this is weird. I'm almost kind of glad no one responded because I kind of do just want to sit here and just talk for a while. Just have a chat, have a rant because I don't know. It's been a while. I think I was looking at my notes. I think it's been since episode 6. Yeah, it's been since episode 6 since I've done anything on my own, on anything solo, and a lot has changed since then. I guess since then, I think that's when I think that was before we introduced. Yeah, no, it definitely was. It's before we introduced the Showy Show, Weird Man, White Van, Kit's Movies and such. It was before Kit was even part of GoBicker. We hadn't switched to video on this podcast yet. I don't think we had done any video up until that point on this show. Yeah, anyway. So things are going to get political just for a minute. Because a lot of this right now tonight, I don't think I have any topics I want to specifically bring up. But there's one thing I want to mention right now. Just thinking about it because it's in current events and stuff. So, as I'm sure most people are aware at this point, currently there is a big whole hullabaloo. How do you say that? Hullabaloo. Yeah. A big old thing happening with Brett Kavanaugh and the Supreme Court and Dr. Ford. I can't remember her first name, or she was she's one of these first, middle, last name type people. So, I mean, the fact that Brett Kavanaugh's probably a rapist. Is that fucked up to laugh at? Probably. So, and this is something I've also just been thinking about a lot, just with the last year or so. I would say a year or so, since the Russia probe started as well, where it's like, why are people so against getting investigated? It's been memed like crazy now. So, the whole thing about Brett Kavanaugh screaming at the hearing, where it's like, why are you so angry if you're innocent? You shouldn't have anything to worry about at this point. You should be like, I don't know, I didn't do anything. So what? What do I care? I didn't do anything. Obviously there's a bit more to it than that because it's he's talking about his name being dragged through the mud, which it has been, obviously. And at this point, yeah, if he's innocent, I feel terrible for him. But given his behavior, I don't think he is at this point. He's losing his goddamn mind. But if he's innocent, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. And the fact that they're like, all right, we're gonna do an FBI investigation to really figure this shit out, but we're only gonna do it for 1 week, and the White House has said it's gonna be limited. So it's so you're not really gonna look into it then. They're basically, from what it seems like, is they're basically going to look into the main allegations with Dr. Ford and then go from there. Or not go from there. They'll do that and they'll go, I don't know, can't find anything, and then they'll just move on. And then he'll get on the court. Unless, because then the Democrats, of course, are very mad because of Merrick Garland, and so they're going to want to push Kavanaugh's vote until after the elections in November, because then if they flip the House again, then they're like, well, fuck, we got a majority of Democrats. Yeah, let's vote on this real quick, and then they'll vote them down, and then they'll only let in a Supreme Court nominee who they approve of, and then maybe they'll just want Merrick Garland back. Who knows? It's weird because it's a lot of people a lot of Republicans and whatnot, they're complaining about the fact that it's oh, this is all political. It's all political. It's yeah, duh. But it was political in 2016 as well with Merrick Garland, and of course it's gonna be political. It's always gonna be political. It's all about, you gotta keep party lines and whatnot. You gotta make sure that, your guys are in positions of power and whatnot. It's fucking dumb. I don't know. I mean, for a little while, they were looking at Brett Kavanaugh's record. They were like, all right, so this is the way he's, done judge things in the past. And they're like, all right. But then, yeah, because then there's a whole weird thing about the fact that Dianne Feinstein, whatever, the fact that she like held on to this document about the sexual assault allegations until she's had it like since July, they said. And she, her reasoning is like, well, I wanted to keep the source anonymous. It's like, well, you still could have brought up the fact that there's some shit going on, but she didn't. So that's weird. But again, it's political. They're like, all right, well, I'm Dianne Feinstein. I'm a Democrat. I need to make sure that this Republican nominated Supreme Court justice doesn't become a Supreme Court justice. So I'm going to, I have my tools and I'm going to use them when, it's most appropriate. And then, well, yeah. Then going back a second then to the Russia investigation as well, because I mentioned that very briefly when introducing what I'm talking about. It's like Trump is like, oh man, I'm like so fucking innocent. Like, dude, you have no idea just how innocent I am. But then, at the same time, he's like, but don't investigate at all. Stop the investigation. It's just, it's a witch hunt. It's like, all right, but if there's nothing there, why not let them investigate? Who cares, right? I could see somebody be like, well, it's just waste of money. It's like, yeah, well, so is a lot of things in the government. If we're going to waste money on anything, I think it should be on making sure our president is lawful, like, and making sure the elections are safe and secure. But it's a witch hunt, so can't do that. I hate it. I hate it all. Let me look through my topics as well. I think I have things I could talk about. See, there's a lot of these though. It's like I can't have arguments and stuff when it's just me. I don't have anything. So what did I do last time? So the first time I did a solo video, solo podcast, I recapped Grease from memory. I could recap Grease 2, maybe. Last time, though, on episode 6 of this very show, I ranked all of Star Wars, which I can update that, I think, if I could remember my order, because I finally saw Solo a couple days ago for the first time, and it's really good. I really enjoyed it. It's silly. There was a lot of moments in it that I was like, like, I guess I'm just going to talk about Solo for now. Like the bit where when Han got his name, where he became Han Solo, where it's like, like, what's your name? He's like, Han. What's your last name? He goes, oh, you're on your own? Fucking Solo. Your name is now Han Solo. And it's like, I got it. How we got the DL-44 again, stupid. Where it's like Beckett or whatever was like taking apart his gun, and he's like, oh, here's your gun. Now you've got a gun. It's the iconic blaster. It's like, yay. Oh, how the Millennium Falcon got the little dent in the middle. It's like, oh, because I need to shove off the escape pods. But then, like, the bit, like, how he got the Falcon was good. How he met Lando. Kira was fine. No. I mean, she was fine, but she was also really fucking dumb. And I actually just... Because at the end, when everyone started betraying everyone, it was like that rocket jump video, the Mexican standoff rocket jump with Key and Peele in it, where they constantly kept like taking off masks and stuff, and they were like, one person would be the partner and then the crime, and it's all all these people double crossing everyone. Fucking stupid. And that's pretty much what the end of Solo was. It's like, you think Beckett's leaving. Spoilers. Did I say spoilers already? Spoilers. So Beckett's leaving, and then he's like, and then they go in to meet Iden Voss or whatever his name is. And they're like, oh, look at this Corellium or whatever the dust glowy shit is called. Oh, but it's obviously fake. And I know that because, and then, Beckett's there. He's actually bad. But then, what happened? Oh yeah, then they realized that, oh, the shit is real. And if the shit's here, then, where did it go? And then, yeah, basically then Beckett returned again. And then somehow left. Oh yeah, left with Chewie and the is it coaxium? I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, so yeah, I think it left with that, and then they had a little fight, and then you think, oh man, Kira is gonna betray Han now, and then, oh no, she didn't, but she did, because then she left with the ship, and then at the end, then, Han and Beckett on the beach, and you're like, oh man, maybe they'll be friends, and then you see that Beckett's gonna go for his gun again, and then Han shoots him, and it's like, yeah, it just keeps going. It was dumb. But overall, the movie was fun. It's weird, though. I've been working on this. This is really fucking nerdy and dumb, but I've been working on this script for an episode of Doctor Who that takes place in the Star Wars universe. I know. I know, okay? It's fucking dumb. But it's actually, it's a fun thing. I would really enjoy watching the episode if it ever existed. But the planet I've been using in that script is Savarine. And I just happened to find it on Wikipedia one day. And then the planet at the end of Solo is fucking Savarine. I was like, I was blown away because like when I found it initially on Wikipedia, I was thinking, oh man, this will never get used in one of the movies because it was just some random fucking thing from the comics like 25 years ago or something, like yeah. Why would someone ever use this in like a canon thing? And then all of a sudden they use it in a big canon thing. So does it count though? Because it was in Solo and apparently nobody saw Solo. So I would also like to stand by the fact, like I didn't actually get any shit for it, but probably because we're such a small channel. But I'd like to stand by the fact, and as CEO of GoBicker, this is law, that The Last Jedi is a good movie. Suck it, Kit. And no one can convince me otherwise, because trust me, there's tons of people who want to. But then there's still the whole thing where it's like, not as many as you'd think, though. It's just a lot of really loud assholes. And I mean, there are some legitimate complaints, but then there's also a shit ton of really nitpicky ones. And I think those are the ones I have the most trouble with. Anyway, we're not going to do Star Wars again. And I don't know if we should do Grease again, because I'm kind of thinking about trying to recap Grease 2. But it's also been a while since I've seen it, so I don't know. Anyway, one thing I could do, maybe I will do this, I need to come up with a story, a script of some sort for a class I'm taking, a digital filmmaking class. And we have this week and next week, or until, guess what day would that be? October 7th, I want to say? October 10th. Oh yeah, October 7th is a Sunday. We have until October 10th to come up with a pitch for a short film that we will be making. And then I think the way teacher, who I want to talk about at some point as well. I don't know if I will, but I want to. She said that like everyone will go, they'll do their pitch, and it'll be like a 5-minute, 10-slide PowerPoint presentation, which is boring, but I'll see if I can do something funny with it. And then you'll pitch your movie, short film, and then you'll have some sort of a printout that you'll tape up on the wall or something, and then kind of like pin the tail of a donkey. You put your vote on whatever one you'd want to work on, and so like the top like 3 or whatever would actually get made. I want mine made though. Like I don't know why I give a shit, because like I if I want to make something creative and fun, I have GoBicker, I have my own channel, so it's like I don't need this. But this is like one of the few times I'd have like a crew to work with, and potentially even actors. So kind of want to take advantage of that and make something fun. But the thing is, I have ideas and stuff written down, but a lot of them are like TV shows or movies. So it's like things that would be kind of hard to make in like, I think the limit is 3 minutes. Let me look at my ideas though, and maybe we can kind of talk through some of these. So that one could be for me. And some of these, like I write a lot of these ideas because like the whole thing of like as you're falling asleep, your mind is kind of racing and thinking about things. I think that's a thing that everyone has. I guess maybe a more broad comparison is when you're in the shower and you start thinking of things. But anyway, so a lot of time I'll be kind of going to sleep. I'll think of these, but then I'll want to not forget them. So I'll sit back up and write them down. And so a lot of them are kind of vague, and I kind of have to just figure them out. I have this idea, and the end of it is, it's like Goonies but superheroes. So that's kind of a fun idea. I'd like to do that one day. That's also kind of like I imagine that idea would kind of end up turning into like Invincible though. Bitch. Which, by the way, if you've never read of or even heard of Invincible, seriously give it a read. It is really fucking good. It's by the same guy who did The Walking Dead. And if you don't like The Walking Dead, you're like, man, no. I think it's way better than The Walking Dead comic, and obviously way better than that piece of shit show. So, and I have a few Doctor Who episodes. Maybe I should just talk about Doctor Who too, because that comes out when this episode comes out, which should be later this week when I'm recording it. I think it'll be out this coming Sunday. So that's really exciting. The new season with Jodie Whittaker, fucking pumped for. A lot of weird dreams and stuff as well. Like just reading the first sentence, a guy in what I believe was a chicken suit was hired for my sister's birthday, which was during the summer for some reason, which is weird because her birthday's in November. And I don't know why I was dreaming about her birthday to start with. Anyway, and then I kind of can picture what that dream was. A dream where I mentioned I was Mr. Fantastic. Why would I mention that I'm Mr. Fantastic? Of all the superheroes to be, I don't know why I'm like Mr. Fantastic. He's the cool one. And there's a horror movie there. And I guess this could be an interesting short. I don't know. it's against the rules that I have, because you're not allowed to use guns, and you're not allowed to do a zombie movie, because she doesn't want to deal with the legal trouble of having someone, like imagine some fucking idiot kid in your class tries to use a gun for their short film and they get fucking shot, and then it's like, yeesh. And also she just hates zombie movies. So, I mean, you're not allowed to do that. But there's an idea of basically, like, there's a zombie apocalypse, but then, like, there's enough people who like having things like running water and the grocery store. So, like, society just kind of works together to fix everything again. Because, like, this sucks. I don't want to be doing this Walking Dead surviving in the woods shit. So, really kind of dark, short. Okay. Another thing, too, is, like, I want whatever I make to be funny or interesting. So, and like, I have a few ideas that could be really good as like drama pieces. Well, like different ideas about things that would like deal with like abuse issues and shit. And like these aren't issues I've ever had. So it's like, I wouldn't be able to write them anyway. They're just kind of fun ideas. Here's another fun show. I don't know why I called this one Triple. So that's another fun idea too. Yeah, I don't know. So out of all the ideas I have written down, none of them I want to waste on this class. So let me think. Because one idea I sort of came up with last week, when she was kind of telling us about the pitch, was based on this Superman comic where this girl is sitting on, I think it's a girl, is sitting on a rooftop somewhere, and she's like, I think the thing is that she's gonna kill herself, or maybe she's just sad or whatever, but Superman comes over and he like, sits down and like comforts her and shit. And I really liked that, because for a long time I was in the camp that like, oh man, Superman is just like overpowered and boring. And then hearing Greg Miller from Kind of Funny talk a lot about, what he views Superman to be, which is, he's this guy from Kansas. He's Clark Kent. He's Clark Kent before he's Superman. And then like the important bits of Superman are his humanity, and like having him just like punch a lot of things isn't that interesting. But you have these character moments like the girl sitting on the roof, and that's like real good Superman. So my short would basically be that. It would be, but even it would go a step further, because it would be this superhero that's normally really brash and obnoxious, and who is just like, punching things and always fighting laser beams into the sky. But then they're flying around one day and they see this person who's like ready to jump, and they're like, oh shit, hey, you okay? And the person's like, no, I'm just leave me alone, I don't want to talk about it. And they're like, but hey, maybe we should talk about it. And then I don't know, but like it would probably seem really rushed to have like a mental health breakthrough in 3 minutes, including like a little prologue where you see, the superhero fighting or whatever. And also it's like I think about my own capabilities. It's like, I mean, that would probably be a lot of like After Effects work and shit to get like a fight, even just like a short one at the beginning, like a fight going in the thing. So it's like one of these ideas that I might make at some point in some fashion, or maybe I'll just write it and forget about it. I don't know. So that's an idea I had. But then, like I said, I wanted to. That's another thing, dealing with like mental health, which is like, it's a thing I sort of deal with. Well, no, I mean I definitely deal with, but like I don't feel like I'm the right person to write about it, because it's like, well, I deal with a lot of like anxiety and depression and shit. I don't feel like I deal with it, or I have it as bad as some people who do really get to really dark places, and then, and they do end up, getting close to killing themselves. Like, I've never gotten to that point. So yeah, it's just another one of these interesting, what I feel to be an interesting idea, but not necessarily something that I'm equipped to write about. So I also had an idea just because I was pissed off, because I really, like I kind of hinted at, I really don't like this teacher. I think she's really, really condescending and really passive-aggressive in a lot of ways, too. And it's just a lot of shit really bugs me about her. So, like, she said, no guns, no zombies. And so I immediately thought of a way. So, like, for guns, you'd use finger guns, right? And, you just add, like, the sound effects and stuff. And I think that could be kind of funny. But then, like, it turns out at the very end, but actually, why these people are in a field with their finger guns is because, zombie apocalypse. And then at the end, she's mad, but it's a funny short, I guess. And so the class is happy with it. Maybe even I get lucky and she gets off her fucking high horse and she's happy with it too. I don't know. And then again, I like Doctor Who, and so anything I try to think of any. I mean, basically, it would be kind of fun if I just did a little Doctor Who short, but just it's not. It's like Doctor Who, where it's not. It's some nondescript alien from a nondescript planet who travels in their time machine that's bigger on the inside or some shit. There wouldn't be any good way to really represent the time machine, so you could make it like a time turner from Harry Potter, or like even in Doctor Who, Captain Jack has that wristwatch thing. What is it? Like the vortex manipulator, I think, or just some shit like that. Actually, yeah, that would probably be a lot easier. But then it's like, what do you do in the 3 minutes? Like, I wonder if it's at 3 to 5. I have 3 in my head because I feel like that's what she said, but I feel like I saw somewhere else at some point this semester where she said 5. Because if I can use the full 5, I'm gonna use the full 5. Because you can tell. I mean, we had like one project we've done we've done 2 projects. The first project we did, it was basically just us fucking around with cameras, and we had to make something that would be 30 seconds long, tell a story in 30 seconds, which is kind of difficult because she wanted us to use 10 different shots, and you cut, doing a lot of cutting and stuff, and you especially changing the shots a lot, it can become really disorientating really quick. So I did actually end up kind of using that to my advantage. I found like a music track on the YouTube royalty-free music library, and then like basically just cut the little short to that, and I made it, I'm very proud of this, 30 seconds to the frame. Like, it's like on Premiere it said 30.000, so, or I guess it would just be the 2 zeros. Anyway, I was really proud of that. And the issue too is like, I'm not normally very competitive, but for some reason with this project I want to show that I'm better than everyone else. I don't know why, and I very well might not be. So we haven't really had a chance to see how anyone else works in that class. Like, we got, for the first project, we had, the 30-second thing, we split up into little groups, but because we only shot the one thing and really only did it in one afternoon, I'm not sure how these other people work, or I'm not sure how these other people like think as far as like filmmaking. So I don't know, but I want mine to be better than everyone else's because I don't know, I'm just an asshole. So yeah, hold on, I'm gonna look up a story generator. Let's just do that. All right, random plot generator. Let's see. Main character, a man in his late 40s who is very uninhibited. We can sort of work with that, but the man in his late 40s might be a little hard at college full of 20-somethings. A man in his 80s who is very timid. See, again, way too old. Way too old. That's even worse than the 40s. That's literally double that. Another man in his 80s. I don't need a man in his 80s. Woman late 40s. Young man in his late teens. Much more doable. Who can be quite naive. Alright, we're on the right track. Character 2. A woman in her early 30s who is very helpful. See, again, too early. Or too old. 50s, 40s, 50s, late teens. A young woman in late teens who is very stubborn. We're on to something, ladies and gentlemen. The setting. Story begins in a cellar. That's alright. We'll keep that in mind. Story begins on a battlefield, a bit harder to do, especially with the no guns. The story begins in a marina. See, we live on a lake, so that's very doable. I'm gonna stick with the marina one. I like that. All right, situation. Someone telling the truth isn't believed. See, that could work too, because like the young woman in her late teens who is very stubborn, she's telling the truth. Or no, the young man would be telling in his late teens who can be quite naive is telling the truth, but he was naive to think that someone would believe him about this crazy thing. And the young woman in her late teens who is very stubborn in her belief that the young man who's very naive is not telling the truth. I don't know what you do with that, but let's continue with this idea. Theme. It's a story about deception. I mean, that seems pretty obvious. Yeah, I know. Ooh, because maybe it turns out that the woman is being stubborn, but she's not actually being stubborn. She's trying to cover up for herself. She's being deceptive about this whole thing. There you go. We're getting somewhere. Character action. Your character upsets people a lot. He upsets a lot. Okay, why would he be upsetting people? What is going on in this situation where people are becoming upset? Why, in my head, are aliens coming to mind? I don't know. Aliens are fun. He's like, hey, yo, dog, I saw aliens. And the woman's like, fuck no, you didn't. And he's like, I really did. That's why I came down to here to this marina, because this is where you work, girl. And she's like, boy, you did not see aliens. And then he's like, I did. And it turns out at the end that she is alien. I don't hate that. I feel like that could be something. I don't know. I could see her at the very end, like pulling off her face. That'd be fun. Let's do a new one. I'm gonna open up the same thing on a different tab. Let's see if we can get another good one. All right. Main character: 70s, 80s, 70s, 60s, late teens. Boom. Character 2: 20s. That'll do. So, a young man in his late teens who can be quite spontaneous, and a woman in her early 20s who can be quite wise. So, what I imagine would basically be the 2 kids from the Cat in the Hat movie. Conrad and Susie? I'm gonna look that up. If I'm writing about Conrad and Susie, I'm a fucking genius. Sally, god damn it, I was so close. I knew it was like a old-timey 50s name. Oh yeah, that was Dakota Fanning, that's right. Wow, she looks like an adult. So yeah, that's basically who the characters are. The setting, story begins in an aeroplane. No. Story begins on a university campus. Perfect, that's where we go to school, on a university campus. The situation. A father makes a last request as he lays dying. Oh my god, it's Conrad and Sally's dad, and he's dying on campus. No, they can be on. They're on campus, but they're remembering back to when he died or something like that. I like it, I guess. Theme. It's a story about betrayal. Oh god. Okay. Why is it about betrayal? Oh, why? Their dad requests something at the end of his life as he's dying, and they have to betray his wishes. But you can't hate them for betraying his wishes, and you also can't hate the dad for asking for it. And this also seems pretty sad as well. Maybe I should re-roll. Okay, let me look at this character action. Your character is tested to the limits of physical endurance. Why the fuck? This doesn't add up to what I'm thinking. Why would they be tested to the limits of physical endurance? Why is Conrad and Sally? Why is it an apocalypse? I don't know. Could be. Yeah, you know what? This seems really sad. I don't want to make a sad thing. In my experience, if you make a funny thing, you get a better grade. So, situation. We're gonna change that. A mother hands over the reins of the family business. Much more doable. The theme. It's a story about vengeance. Oh. Why would it be about vengeance? Character action. Your character has some tough lessons to learn about the family business. That's what the tough lessons would be. But who are they? I don't know. There's other generators on this one. What am I on? I'm on writingexercises.co.uk. So if you want to try this out for yourself, feel free. There's also, let's see. Let's just look up a character. Yeah, let's try that. Oops, shit. Well, I lost that scenario. Let's look at the character generator on its own. And also, I say let's look at it. But if you're listening to the audio version, you can't see it because it's audio only. And then also, if you're watching the video version, it's just my dumb face because I'm not recording the screen. So, but let's look at it regardless. This character is a woman in her early 30s. Age can be changed, whatever. Who is very idealistic. She comes from a wealthy background, lives in a city apartment, and tends to complain a lot. That sounds like someone I don't want to fucking sit with for a few weeks and write about. The character is a woman in her 50s. Again, age doesn't matter here. We'll change that. Who is very foolish. She comes from a poor background, lives in a caravan, and tends to be a little gullible. The caravan is kind of hard to do, if you ask me, so probably pass. The character is a woman in her early 40s who can be quite generous. She comes from a poor background, lives in a fisherman's cottage, and tends to be a little paranoid. See, a lot of these aren't working for me. Let's look at what-if scenario, because fuck it, why not? Create a scenario. How would you go about faking your own death? Where would you go afterwards? You could do something with that. You could definitely do something with that. Let's look at, real quick, I just noticed this about quick plot. Let's just have it all generate for me. Generate a story plot. Your character is a man in his 50s who, again, age can be changed, who can be quite stubborn. Again, with these stubborn people. The story begins by a river. A robbery goes badly wrong. It's a story about the future. Your character upsets a lot of people. Well, yeah, he's a fucking robber. Kind of like that one, though. The idea of, like, a botched robbery. Again, finger guns, though. That could be fun though. I don't know. I think we've got to start, and I think I want to. I don't know. Did I get any Twitter questions? No. All right. I'm gonna delete that tweet then. Sorry, Tim. You missed your shot. Delete. You know, it's really annoying. Again, based on what I said at the beginning of the episode, not that annoying either. But like, Chris and Maya are still online. I'm looking right at them. Anyway, doesn't matter. How long has it been? 40-ish minutes? 30-ish minutes? Fuck it. Let me wrap this up by talking about why shit's been a little less active lately. Like, I guess pretty much most of August, we were pretty consistent, got a lot of shit out. And then September rolled around, and then it slowed the fuck down. One issue being podcast, when I'm doing all the switching and stuff, if you're watching the video version, it's really fucking time consuming. So that's why, like, halfway through, not even halfway through, like 15 minutes into the last episode, I stopped. Because it's like, Jesus Christ, if I don't stop, you know, if I don't stop doing the switching, this episode will never come out, or it'll be another couple weeks. And we gotta, like, I want, at the very least, I want Not Really But Kinda to be a weekly show. And so and honestly, that's a big reason why I'm doing this on my own tonight. Yeah, I probably could have waited till the other people had time or even bother to respond to my messages, whatever, there's other people who have said that, it's like, oh, if you're ever on your own, you need somebody, you message me, and I'm like, yeah, I will, and I didn't. So it's like I could have like waited till I'm in a better mood to talk to people and then done it with those people, but I figure if I keep waiting, then again, this show will end up being like one of these like bi-monthly things, It'll be like on Happy Hour, which never fucking comes out. Like, there's an episode sitting on Chris's computer right now that he might be working on. Maybe that's what he's doing. I don't know. I mean, like, it was supposed to come out like last weekend or something. And I really like that show too. The Showy Show, again, kind of just went away. I did 2 episodes, 3 if you're a patron. I did the 2 or 3 episodes. And it's such a hard show to do because there's a lot of editing. And when I have like other shit to do for classes and stuff on top of that, which I guess I didn't for the month of August, but like I do now, it's tough. And also it's such a pain to shoot because like I don't have a lot of room to shoot it, and like I have like 4 cameras set up because like I'll have my laptop with this very webcam plugged in, and then I'll have the shitty old camera that I just found that I don't know where we got it from or why we have it, but it's here, and that's like the very wide shot, like when we go to commercial. And then I have my phone as like one of the other sides, and then like the DSLR is like my main camera. And then you add in the table that I have to use, or that I end up using, and the chair that I sit in, which is just like a folding chair, so it's not that much room. But anyway, it's like it takes up a lot of space. In this space, it's not very big. So, and then it's like I feel like at this point I can't downgrade. Like I could do the Showy Show like this setup right here. I put on that dumb shirt and I have the script and I read the things and that'd be fine. But like I said, I don't want to dumb it down now that I've had it at this certain level. And it's not like it's good, but it's like I feel like there's a certain thing you do with the show. It's like there's a certain style to it that I wouldn't want to just abandon, even if that would mean that the show came out more often. Movies and such, I think Kit's a busy boy. He has his own channel still, which you can make sure to subscribe to if you like Minecraft. Or actually, I think he's on Twitch more often than his YouTube channel. So movies and such. I think movies and such is another kind of time-consuming thing, but so that's why he doesn't do that. And then as far as the one show that I feel like we could get out every week, Weird Man White Van, who the fuck knows why it doesn't come out? Ask Chris. Tweet him at Cosmic Chris. It's COSMICH RIS5, capital C at the beginning. It's at Cosmic Chris, not Cosmic Chris. Yeah, ask him because I don't fucking know. I'm always like, it's like a Sunday afternoon. That's all it takes to edit Weird Man White Van. And it only takes, like, he said it before, he drives a lot for his job. So there's plenty of time for him to just, like, record for 25 fucking minutes and get something out. But no. And, oh yeah, I've been meaning to, literally just remembered that I need to do, part 3 of Dream Daddy, which is still part of the one recording we did last year, like almost a year ago now, I think. It might even be over a year ago, because that's all sitting there ready to go. So, so basically, I don't know. It seems like basically schedules for whatever reason this month. Well, actually, okay, and then so I'm in school again. Maya's in high school still, so that takes up all of her fucking time, along with that shitty fucking job she has. So I mean, it's really no surprise that she isn't able to show up. Yeah, I think we've just been kind of busy lately. I know also a few weeks ago, like, Spider-Man for the PlayStation came out, and it kind of just took over that week. I didn't get anything else done. So there's always those issues as well. And like, I imagine it's going to be real tough when Red Dead Redemption comes out in a few weeks. And also, speaking of video games, can we talk about the fact fucking Animal Crossing is coming out now, finally? We don't know when. Sometime next year, they said, but fucking Animal Crossing for the Switch is fucking happening, which means that the second they announced the Animal Crossing edition for the Switch, which they'll have, I'm gonna fucking get it, and I'm just gonna cry tears of joy because it finally happened and I can finally get a Switch. Because I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but like, I've really wanted a Switch for a while. But I had my one rule was that I can only get it once Animal Crossing comes out, and it just seemed for years. Switch hasn't been out for that long, but for years they wouldn't announce it, and now they finally did, and I'm really quite happy. So anyway, I guess that about wraps it up. If you have any other questions about GoBicker and the behind the scenes happening, I'd love to answer them at some point. So if you have any, leave them in the comments down below. Or how does it work on these audio services? Do they have like comment sections? I don't think so. So you can also tweet them at GoBicker, at the Cartooner69, at CosmicChris5, whatever Maya's one is. The links are always somewhere. If you really care, you can find where our Twitters are, or at GoBicker. That's really the easiest one. Make sure to go to GoBicker.com as well, because website is fucking expensive when you don't have any money, especially. And I just had to pay for another year the other day, and it made me cry a little bit because it's very expensive. And if you aren't like me and you have a little bit of money to spare, you can go to patreon.com/GoBicker, donate at even the dollar level. I make sure now that this show always comes out at least a day early, because basically if I get it done, I'll put it right up on Patreon, and then I'll make sure that it doesn't come out anywhere else until at least 24 hours later, if not a couple days later. So you always will get an exclusive with Not Really But Kinda. If I can figure out a way to have it so that unlisted videos be scheduled public, I'd like to do other videos as well early on Patreon. I think even in the future, we might start including our post-podcast conversation in the Patreon-only version of the show, or as the Patreon-only version of the show. So, because we generally, as we're waiting for files to be sent and stuff, Audacity files, we will sit and we'll chat for a while longer, and some of the shit is still funny and entertaining, so we've been thinking about including that as well. So and even at the dollar level, you unlock everything at $1, so I don't see why not. Even like I said, even me with no money, even I'm a patron for 2 people, Kind of Funny and Nerd Cubed, so it's definitely worthwhile. I want to do a Patreon only show at some point as well, once I get more time, or we as a company get more time. I feel it's sort of kind of worth it at this point, because you do get the one thing we do consistently early. It's only kind of worth it though, because the main thing is it's just people being generous, So, but if you're hey, I love these GoBicker people, I wish they would do more shit. Really, it's really actually kind of annoying, but that really is the best way to make sure that happens, because if we don't have money, I can't convince people to stop doing these things that make them money in order to do this fake thing that doesn't make money. So I wish we didn't have to worry about money though. That would be really nice. I wish I didn't have to. I wish we didn't have the Patreon, quite frankly. But it's one of these things, one of these necessary evils of being an internet thing. And then make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow on all the any of the podcast places, iTunes, Google Play, whatever. Leave a rating. It's always nice. All right, done whoring us out. See you next week for more with hopefully more people. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Goodbye. Remember forever, and she bops you out of